Hello everyone, and welcome to the definitive Season 16 Camille guide. Most people are kind of sleeping on Camille right now, and honestly, that's exactly why you should be playing her. So in this video, I'm going to be covering everything from abilities, runes, and items, all the way through to gameplay and matchups, so that by the end of this, you have everything you need to pick her up and start climbing some divisions. So what is Camille? She's a high damage single target carry with elite mobility and target selection. She loves to duel, split push, and hunt down anyone who dares to walk somewhere that they shouldn't. If you've ever wanted to delete someone from the map with a 2-second cooldown Cho'Gath ult from a screen away, Camille is your champion. So let's get right into it. Camille's passive is Adaptive Defenses. It periodically grants you a shield when attacking enemy champions that changes type based on the damage type they have done to you most that game. It grants a 20% max health shield, so it's your greatest trading tool during the laning phase. Camille's Q is Precision Protocol, and it's your main ability as a champion. It's an empowered basic attack that can be recast after the first, with it dealing true damage if the second cast is done after 1.5 seconds. This second attack is what your whole game is built around. Camille's W is Tactical Sweep. The outer part of this ability does bonus damage, heals you, and slows opponents, so it's an important part of laning safely and catching people later on in the game. Camille's E is Hookshot. It allows you to dash to a wall and then jump off from it in a direction with increased distance towards enemy champions. It also grants attack speed when dashing away from the wall, and it's what makes Camille so dangerously mobile. Finally, Camille's R is Hextech Ultimatum. You jump on a champion and prevent them from leaving a certain area for a couple of seconds. It's the ultimate lockdown tool, as it's impossible to escape by any means. Alright, let's quickly run through all the essential combos you need to know. Your bread and butter in lane is QWQ. You Q a minion first to gain movement speed, and then you use that to close the gap. You W to slow them and hit that outer edge, then Q again for your true damage. This is your go-to trading pattern for every single laning phase. The next is EWE. This gives you much more flexibility than committing to abilities one after another. The W timing within this combo can vary a lot depending on your distance from the target, so this one takes practice to feel out, but it's worth learning pretty early. Next, you have the E Flash, which is simply used to catch someone just outside of your normal E range. It's pretty straightforward, but it's essential to know that it exists. And finally, we have the more advanced version, the E Flash E. Rather than just closing the distance, this lets you fully reposition where your second E is coming from, which makes it significantly harder to predict and dodge than a standard E Flash. This is one that will genuinely surprise people at higher levels. Camille runs 3 main rune pages depending on the matchup. Grasp is your default. You'll take this probably around 80% of your games. It supports your weak early game with extra trading power and sustain. Shield Bash is required as it procs every time your passive activates, and Bone Plating works well into all-in champs like Renekton. Second Wind is more into poke. For secondaries, Magical Footwear saves you 300 gold, so you never have to delay Triforce, and Biscuit Delivery covers your lane sustain. Conqueror is your carry page. It's a bit higher risk than Grasp, but much stronger when you're ahead or into tanks where the long trade might favor you. For your secondaries, keep Shield Bash, but you can take whatever else you like, as it's pretty variable and it really depends on the matchup that you're in. Press the Attack is reserved for ranged champions, Vayne, Vladimir, or some low resistance champions like Yone and Kayle. The same secondary setup as Conqueror, but PTA gives you burst damage that most opponents in those matchups genuinely won't see coming. There is one exception worth mentioning. Into the demon that is Teemo, you want to take Fleet Footwork. The sustain it provides is the only real answer to his constant poke. Camille runs 3 summoner spells interchangeably: Flash, Teleport, and Ignite. Any combination of these works, and it mostly comes down to preference and matchup. Personally, I run TP Ignite almost every game. Ignite gives you that extra kill pressure in your duels, which Camille loves, and Teleport lets you impact the map and get back to lane without losing too much. It also gives you a do-over in case you mess up your lane, because you will probably do that a lot. However, there are matchups where I'll swap Ignite for Flash, specifically into champions with strong lockdown like Poppy, or when the enemy jungler has high gank threat like Nunu. In those cases, the extra escape or reposition is worth giving up the kill pressure. Camille's core build is pretty set in stone for the first 2 items. After that, it becomes entirely situational, and it's going to change a lot from game to game. Triforce is your first item every single game, no exceptions. Your Q actually factors in Sheen's damage when calculating its proc, so Triforce isn't just good on Camille, it's fundamental to how she deals damage. The second item is Ravenous Hydra, again, every game. Camille naturally struggles to clear waves efficiently, and Hydra solves that problem entirely, while also giving you solid sustain in side lanes. After that, it's really up to your judgment, and this is where you need to read the game. If you're ahead and want to maximize your carry potential, Spear of Shojin is your best third item. The ability haste is a godsend, and the bonus damage actually applies to your Q's true damage, allowing 1200 true damage Qs later on in the game. That's your go-to when you're confident and the game is in your hands. If you need survivability, the choice is simple. Heavy physical damage on the enemy team, go Death Stance. If the damage a bit more mixed, go Steraks. And if you just need tenacity but don't need the shield from Steraks, you can go for an Endless Hunger. Late game options like Maw of Malmortius and Guardian Angel are purely situational based on what the enemy team is doing. So to summarize, Triforce and Hydra every game, Spear of Shojin if you're carrying, and tank items if you need to survive. Camille's early lane is surprisingly strong when well utilized, and it revolves around one thing: wave management. Camille works best near walls, so your primary goal early is to either freeze the wave or slow push a large wave into the enemy. Being close to walls dramatically increases your trading potential due to how your E works. To freeze, either let your opponent push naturally towards you or drag the minions out of the start of the lane to force the wave in your direction. Once you have a freeze, look to trade every time your passive is up to build a health lead, then convert that freeze into a slow push to set up a kill. One thing to keep in mind: always be aware of where the enemy jungler is. If you're unsure, it's best to hold your E. It's your only real escape tool, and burning it for a trade while the jungler is unaccounted for can get you killed very quickly, even when close to your tower. It's also important to get a lead before level 6 specifically, because post 6, opponents gain access to their ultimates, which makes killing them significantly harder. If you haven't secured a kill by that point in the game, and you're not in an easy matchup, shift your focus to farming cleanly until Triforce. If you find yourself behind, don't force it. Kill windows on Camille when you're losing are rare, and chasing them usually makes things worse. Play safe, farm consistently, and let your items do the work. Camille is heavily item reliant, so the gap closes a lot faster than you think it will. Speaking of items, your back timing is straightforward. Back whenever you can complete a strong component, ideally Sheen or Phage. However, tempo is one of the most important things on Camille, largely because of her poor wave clear. So if staying in lane for a component means you return late and miss a wave or lose your freeze, it's probably not worth it. Getting back to lane on time will often matter more than the extra gold from that component. Now let's talk about trading. Camille's trading revolves entirely around her passive. That 20% max health shield is a massive game changer. If used correctly, you can come out of trades without taking any meaningful damage back. The goal is simple. You bait out a key enemy ability, think Darius Q, Mordekaiser E, Irelia E, then immediately punish with your E, Q, and W outer edge. That's your core trading pattern every single time. If you can consistently bait their main ability and follow up with a passive activated trade, you will never lose a short trade on Camille. One thing to keep in mind: if landing Q2 isn't realistic due to the time it takes for it to charge, quick casting the second hit for the base damage is perfectly fine. Don't get greedy chasing the true damage proc if the window isn't there. Camille's mid and late game identity is straightforward. You are a side lane champion, full stop. Your dueling potential and mobility are perfectly suited to the side lane, and is the most reliable way to carry games on Camille. Unless there's a major objective being contested or a fight breaks out near you, you should always be applying pressure in a side lane. At 3 items, you can take a tower in under 15 seconds, meaning your presence can never go ignored. Avoid full 5v5 teamfights where possible, as Camille excels in skirmishes and duels where there are fewer variables, less CC to worry about, fewer targets to get collapsed on, and cleaner paths in and out of the fight. In a full team fight, it's very easy to jump on your target and immediately get focused and deleted. In a skirmish, you control the situation a bit more. In the late game, your role shifts slightly towards anti-carry. If an enemy is diving onto one of your important carries, your job is to lock them down with your R and neutralize them. If no such threat exists, look to isolate an enemy carry yourself for your team to follow up on. Just be mindful that Camille is not as durable as most bruisers. If you get focused without a plan to get out, you will die quickly, so pick your moments very carefully. I can't cover every matchup individually, so we'll talk about archetypes instead, which will give you a framework for approaching any matchup you run into. Ranged matchups. Generally more manageable than people expect, with Teemo being the notable exception who gets his own rune page entirely. For most ranged matchups, PTA and early aggression is enough to take control of the lane. Doran's shield and second wind are mandatory here to offset the poke. All-in bruisers. We're talking your Renekton, Darius, and Set. These are your most mechanically demanding matchups because ability baiting is not an option. It's the only way you win trades. Darius is slightly more forgiving since his E is on a longer cooldown than yours, meaning you can trade E for E and fight him once yours is back up. Grasp with Bone Plating and Doran's Blade to start. Ignite is strongly preferred in these matchups if you can execute the kill window. Short traders. Mundo, Malphite, Poppy, any other sort of short trading champion. Similar principle to all-in bruisers, but with significantly less threat of an accidental all-in killing you. So you can afford to be a bit more aggressive and trade even when they have abilities available. Grasp or Conqueror can both work here, although Conqueror requires more confidence to pull off. Both Doran's Blade and Doran's Shield work here, and Shield is just more for sustain, while Blade is a bit more aggressive. If you have questions about a specific matchup, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer down there. Or you can check out some of my other videos where I've probably played into some of these matchups and you can look at what I did to win them. Let's finish up with some tips and tricks that will immediately elevate your Camille gameplay. Camille's R cancels channels on cast, making it invaluable against champions like Katarina and Fiddlesticks. The moment you see them channeling, R is your instant answer. Your E can be buffered through CC and can even be cast while rooted. This is one of the most underutilized tools in her kit and can get you out of situations that look like certain death. Your Q extends your auto attack range by 50 units, which means with good movement you can space extremely effectively and poke enemies who think they're just outside your reach. Your E no longer needs to connect with a champion's grand attack speed, so it can be used to your advantage when clearing waves in the early game, especially seeing as Camille has a naturally poor wave clear. Your R makes you untargetable during the animation, which makes it an incredible tool for dodging key enemy abilities or diving under tower. And finally, Camille can traverse some surprisingly thick walls even without the bonus distance from targeting an enemy champion. It's worth spending time in a custom game learning the key walls close to side lanes. The mobility this unlocks is genuinely game-changing. And that's it. That's everything you need to get started on Camille. She's not the easiest champion to pick up, but once it clicks, the dueling, the wall mobility, the perfect trade execution, there's genuinely nothing more satisfying in top lane. She rewards every hour you put into her. If this guide helped you out, a like and a subscribe goes a long way. And if you have any matchup questions or anything I didn't cover, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Precision is the difference between a butcher and a surgeon.